Modern technology.
What was his name again?
Yeah, his name was
Agio Blurred.
He has a very odd name.
Agio Blurred.
Eigil. Okay.
Look it up.
Okay. So we're back.
And back.
And now, what you've all been waiting for.
Susie's choice.
Okay, so I picked the Holdovers, 2023.
The Holdovers.
The
Holdovers, I think.
That's what I.
The hold it over.
Okay.
Stop.
Okay.
Whatever.
It kind of okay. Yeah. Anyways. You know how people say they don't make movies like they used to? Like I'm thinking of Mr. Smith Goes to Washington and
I
whatever.
love that movie.
This is a movie. It's a good old-fashioned movie. It's not too syrupy. It's just kind of a great story.
Yeah.
And no special effects. It's just a great story.
It's nice.
It's a really good movie. Alexander Payne is the director, but it's David Hemmingson that writes an exceptional script. It's an exceptional script.
Yeah.
You know, it's a great story. The film is set in a boys' boarding school in New England in 1970. Other than the language, because I think they didn't use 1970 language.
Yeah, they did.
You know, people like Far Out,
Right.
you know, you think people said, right? They didn't use it. So other than that, I thought they got it, the color of the film, they did a really good job. It's actually a Christmas movie, although...
Right.
That's what I was thinking. Oh, Patty, Christmas movie.
Yeah, it's a Christmas
I
movie.
love Christmas movies.
But that's kind of incidental.
Hey, Rambo's a Christmas movie.
It just
I love Rambo.
it just allows the situation to occur, you know. They can't, for whatever reason, some of the boys can't go home for Christmas, so they are the holdovers. They stay in the school, and they have to have a teacher to kind of
Babysit them.
Well, you could call it that.
Oversee them.
I think I used a better word. I think it's chaperone.
Yeah.
There's no girls.
It's a boys' school.
Yeah, there's no girls, so why would they have a chaperone?
They
Well, that
need
was
a
just a better-
chaperone.
The
Well,
boys.
chaperones, isn't that for couples, though?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
I think it is.
Chaperone.
For anything-
Your parents.
However, we'll
That
have that
needs
discussion when we're not
direction.
on air.
If I have a party and my parents chaperone it, I might be an all-girl party, but my parents chaperone.
You need something to oversee
You know?
It's
something.
a chap that runs you.
Okay,
So he's been He's been teaching at this school forever. That's Paul Giammatti. He plays a character called Paul Hunham. Nobody likes him. He's a curmudgeon. He's very rigid and a stickler for the rules. The kitchen lady also stays, Mary Lamb, Da'Vine Joy Randolph. Her son has just recently died in Vietnam, so she doesn't really want to go home and celebrate. She just, you know, she's still grieving.
Raw.
One of the boys, Angus Tully, Dominic Sessa, and I have to say, he is amazing.
I agree.
He is
Definitely
amazing.
agree.
Yeah, me too.
The character is particularly difficult, but super smart. He's super smart. The film advances gradually. It's also very funny. That's the thing. It sounds like, but it's actually quite funny. And I don't like movies that manipulate my emotions a lot and are overly, emotional.
Sentimental.
And you could see that it has all the things that they could have gone that way, but they didn't. You know, they made it a good story instead. It's also very funny as well as bittersweet. All the performances, it's really three main people, and that will be Da'Vine Joy Randolph, Dominic Sessa, and Paul Giammatti. That's really the three people that are the important people, and their performances are amazing. They just give great performances. The characters develop very slowly, and their relationship develops very slowly, but it's not boring because it's kind of, like I say, it's kind of funny at the same time. it's not flashy, but I really saw how they won 2 Golden Globes from this, because I really hope it does something in the
Paul
Oscars.
Giamatti won Best Actor and the actress, screen
Yes.
actor. So.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
It was. I'm really hoping they do something in the Oscars, because this is a small. It's a small film that's really a great film, like an Oscar-winning film. The characters are so great. So there you go, Patty.
I really liked this movie, but at the time, my emotions weren't in the right place. My whole being wasn't in the right place. And I walked out because it was too slow. But I knew something was coming that was better. And I love Paul Giamatti. He's just so good in any role he takes. So I can say I was only there for 1/4 of it.
No.
I have to say that I haven't seen him. I thought with his famous role in Sideways.
Yeah.
Love that movie.
I feel
Same
this is
director.
an equal role for
Well,
him.
he
Yeah,
was
me
good. He
too.
did a Christmas movie that he was saying with Paul Rudd. That was a good movie too.
Santa Claus?
No, Fred
No.
Claus, the one he did with Vince Vaughn.
No, but he did. But he did
I
one.
love Vince
good in
Vaughn.
that.
No,
I
but
love
he-
Vince
No, but he
Vaughn.
did one too
But we
with that.
reviewed the movie. It's a
Oh,
great
That was
one.
good, yeah. But he did one too with the Canadians, and they saw trees. Remember?
Oh, that was a fantastic movie. I still
What
think.
movie?
You remember they were living in Montreal?
Paul Rudd,
and-
Paul
and-
Giamatti,
and Paul
and
Rudd
they
and
saw
him,
trees.
What movie is
They
that?
buy the trees
We
in
don't
Montreal.
know.
They
It's
sell them
about
in-
Christmas trees down in
Right.
It
United
was like a
States.
protest Christmas movie.
Right.
Oh, I think
Yeah.
I saw that.
It was good.
Yeah, it was good.
It was good.
Anyways, yeah.
Never
Anyway,
saw that.
I did not give it enough credit. I knew it would be better as it went on. But in my mood at the time, I was not
Not
Really?
into it.
into it
And that
at all.
sometimes happens. That
So you're
sometimes
saying
happens.
there's a chance for Amsterdam?
No fucking way. No fucking way for Amsterdam. But for Holdovers, I'm definitely going to watch it again.
It's like you and King's, the
Yes,
King one.
that happened to me. Yeah, and the Lost King.
I'm sorry. Amsterdam has no redeeming
No,
quality.
I'm with you on
None.
that. But, okay, it's not my kind of movie.
Well, it's funny because I was thinking the same thing. It's when you said that, I thought, well, maybe I do have to think about Amsterdam and Anatomy of a Fall again. But this is the movie I went to go see at the theaters because Alexander Payne is a director I happen to like a lot. And like we mentioned before, Sideways being one of the great ones
Great
that he
movie.
did. But it is Paul Giamatti. I agree that he can play these unlikable characters and yet you still have sympathy for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
The amazing part is Dominic Sessa plays the exact kind of character. And it's amazing how I sort of flipped about what I kept thinking. It's like, oh, what a dick. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh, I feel
Right.
sorry for him. And then it's like, oh, what a dick. It's like, oh, no,
Yeah.
I feel sorry for him. He really pulls off, I think, the most difficult role. But
Yeah.
oddly enough, there was Da'Vine Joy Randolph's character that I got really touched by. Now realize I wasn't as touched as I was at Prey, as I wasn't. Prey had more. I was more touched by Prey than this movie. Alexander Payne just does these great comedy dramas. He just shows this human beings being what they are, how they are, and why everyone seems to have their story. And
Right.
once you learn it, then you really begin to understand them.
Absolutely.
Because I will say this, because I'm watching, I'm watching Paul Giamatti being Paul Giamatti, and he's just so good.
So good.
And yet I'm thinking, oh, what are they going to pull out for this one? And sure enough, they pull out something at the end. I thought, interesting. Same thing with Dominic Sessa's character. Da'Vine Joy Randolph's character, it's there. It's right when you meet her, you find out what has happened to her character, and yet you're watching her throughout the entire movie, and there's that weird kind of sympathy because you do feel sorry for her, but you can see she's really trying. She's telling him what to do to help. She's telling Paul Giamatti's character, who basically is the boss there now, and the reason she's there is she's got to cook the meals. So she's cooking meals, and she's just like, no, you should do this. Don't you realize this? I mean, she's telling him how to treat people.
Right.
And I thought, how fascinating, because here's the one who should be getting all the advice about how to get on with life because of what has happened. Because one thing about her son who's died, that he actually attended the school,
Right.
couldn't afford college. So he joined the war effort back in 1970.
Vietnam.
Exactly. To make money. And
To go to
again,
school.
another
Right.
incredibly touching scene is when she tells that story. So I think this is excellent kind of film, but it is not for everyone. But if you like Sideways, this is exactly like Sideways. I kept watching this thinking,
Yeah.
boy, I really hated Paul Giamatti's character. He's so annoying. He's so unlikable. And yet you
love
have,
him.
you
You
have
love him.
sympathy at the end of the movie. And this, you have sympathy for all three of them.
Yeah.
But you
And
also-
that's the amazing part, because you wonder what kind of relationship is going to happen after winter break has
Right.
happened. Because the one thing I did like, which I was confused by at first, was there are several holdovers. There are
Yeah.
5 altogether. Something happens to which all of a sudden 4 are gone, and it's just the 3 of them. So I will say this: Alexander Payne has yet to do, I think, a bad movie, in my opinion. I
Me
think
too.
he does these really good. But you're so right about the writer. I think that the David Hemmingson,
Great script.
incredible screenplay, tries to throw everything in. I did have one objection. I remember watching the movie thinking, wait a minute, this is a boarding school. Why do these kids have long hair?
70s.
Well, no. Yeah, it was 1970, right? So 69 to 70 it's going into, right? I could not understand, because I thought, no, this is still a conservative New England. Because again, I'm assuming it's in Massachusetts, because they go to Boston, but I
don't
have
know.
no idea where it's supposed
I
to
don't
be.
know how old you are.
Uh-huh.
You're like, it's like,
No.
but people in the 70s had,
Oh, no.
that was not considered long hair in the 70s.
No. I disagree, because don't forget, this is
You
a
disagree?
boarding school.
I
In the
understand.
He's right on
60s,
that.
in the
It's-
60s, I get that people had long hair and
No,
everything.
no. In the
Yeah.
They
70s, in
wouldn't
the
have
60s,
shoulder
they
length hair,
did.
but
Well, no.
their hair could
Yeah,
be
no.
longer.
That's what I'm saying. I can see.
It
No,
didn't
no.
bother me.
Even 60s is the long hair, but it has to do with. Well, no.
60s
Let
had.
him, let him
No,
finish.
no.
Let him
no,
finish.
I'm just saying-
60s had long hair, and I get that, right?
No.
I'm just talking about in 70. Don't forget, this is 1970 it's taking place, right? This is a boarding school, a conservative boarding school with all the rich people
I
where they
understand.
have long hair.
But I
Wait,
say
wait.
that
Right.
think of the Beatles. Beatles were like, came here in 1964.
Right. Oh, no. I get
No,
that.
So,
no.
and that was considered
Right.
long hair.
No, but-
By the 70s,
Yeah.
you're thinking more like, what's his name? The guy you liked, Doors guy.
Jim Morrison.
Morrison? I didn't like him.
Cellulite?
You had
Jim
pictures
Morrison?
all over. Come on.
No, the guy
But it
What?
was like,
No, forget it.
but
Yeah.
people had longer hair in the
Longer.
70s.
No. Yes.
60s, people still had short hair.
No, I disagree. 60s they had long hair. 70s they had long hair too.
How old are you?
But I'm talking. I'm literally no.
How old are you?
'Cause
How
I-
old
no.
am I?
No,
No,
no.
Wait a
I
minute.
grew up-
Neither one of
but-
you is wrong on
But
this.
literally, what I'm saying, it has to do with being at a boarding school. This
Yeah.
is a private
Yeah,
school
right.
with rich people
Yes.
and conservative.
Very
I cannot
conservative.
believe that they would allow that. But like you're saying, I don't know, because I've never went to a boarding school.
No, I would say
So
that-
that's the only thing
None
I
of
thought
us
was.
have, babe.
But some
And
of
they
that
weren't
was off.
rebellious kids at the boarding
Well,
school.
they
either.
were. Remember, because of the quarterback.
But-
Remember
but-
what the deal was? He said, "Oh, your
Yeah.
father. Oh, you have to cut your hair." So what happens at the end of the movie when you see the character again?
No,
And that's what I said. It's like, oh, that was interesting, to put in.
No,
Right.
no.
Yeah.
My only argument with that would be that
Uh-huh.
this is a boarding school but I think the reason that they came with it, how they like it is because the people who send them there are so rich and they contribute to the school, so the kids can look however they want.
Yeah.
Because the politicians
Mm-hmm.
and everything. So, and if the kids want to have, if the quarterback wants to have long hair, he will have long hair because.
Mm-hmm.
The school was not going to say anything about it because his father
Well,
is a
was the
major
Give me a
politician.
bit.
No, was the
Was
CEO,
CEO or
remember?
something.
Yeah.
So they can. So they.
Yeah.
That's the money. Money talks. So
Yeah.
that's the only thing that will be the where they can
Okay,
look how they look.
That
Okay.
possibly I could believe.
My
yeah.
point is that was not outrageously long in that time. That they
But
did
to
not
a
No,
have.
no.
school
Like I said,
of
no.
that
The time period.
strictness.
I'm not talking about the time period.
The
I'm
fact that
literally
what
talking
happened, yeah.
about the
But the
school.
strictness
Yeah, the fact
of
that
they
had
had
long hair.
But
Yeah.
the time period
Yeah.
is important.
But
But
the
you're
time
both
period's
right.
important,
You're both
but the
right, so-
strictness.
Yeah.
We'll go on
Yeah.
all night
Yeah,
talking
you're
about
kind
that.
of
Yeah,
both
right.
right.
No, that's the only reason I'm saying, because that's the only thing that bothered me or disturbed me about the movie. It's like, oh, I think that's sort of odd. Because in the 70s, I remember seeing boardings, the private
Right.
schools where kids had long hair. I just can't think at that time period, like, oh, that's sort of odd. But for the most part, again, I just thought this was, just a good, solid comedy drama, which is what
Right.
Alexander Payne does so well. I have yet to, like I said, just be disappointed by one of his movies. And Bittersweet is exactly what he does best. You're right. That's exactly what he does best.
Okay, George.
Yeah, no, I really love this movie too. I thought the three main characters, I was gonna say, the three characters had something that they shared, which was they shared a tragic story.
Yeah.
No, the Divine Joy with her
Good
son,
point.
with her son, the young boy with his father,
Right.
and Paul Giammatti with his past, which eventually we get to. So they share that they have that in common. That's I thought the young guy was a great actor.
Yeah.
His story reminded me of Good Will Hunting.
Yeah.
Where you have
he
a
did.
genius who's a fuck up, but they're a genius, but because of their family history or their life history, it makes them a fuck up.
Yeah.
But and Paul Giamatti sees the potential,
Right.
even though he hates him. It was a classic movie where he hates the character, but he goes, I see your potential, so eventually, and down the line, something's gonna happen, and I'm gonna do something. Yeah,
He's a
and he's a
teacher.
teacher. But then you see with Paul Giamatti's character, and you understand why he appreciates this young boy's situation too, because he also has a past too, when it deals with the whole snobby world of scholar, the scholar world, So what was I going to say? So I thought all three characters should have been nominated for something. I'm sure they might be.
Were they?
I think the young guy is
they
not.
are?
I think she's won some awards.
Yeah, she's won some awards. He was not.
Well,
She
was-
won an
She
award.
won the Golden Globe.
Yeah, and he
Okay.
won the SAG award.
Was that Dominic Sessa
Yeah,
actually
Divine-
I don't know
nominated?
about
Divine Joy.
Dominic Sessa. Did he
okay.
win? No, I think she won.
No,
it.
Divine Joy won.
Were they actually nominated though?
Yeah,
Or recognized? Because you're right. I
Who
think all
cares? The
three.
nominations are bullshit.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'll knock
Really?
the lights out if you call me a
That's
liar.
what you said it. Yeah.
But you're right.
I agree
So-
with you.
So, what was it going to? Yeah, so it was a solid movie. And another thing about the movie is that which I would hear somewhere.
Read on, George. Read on.
Oh, the movie is a movie that takes place in 1970.
Right.
It looks like a 1970s movie.
It does.
To the point, kind of like your movie was the 1930s. And we're talking about how the dialogues, they're shooting it like it's the dialogue supposed to be 1930s. Like I'm watching a movie that was made in 1930. And if I look at the credits, it's 1930. This movie, if I looked at the credits, I would think it was made in 1970.
They even did the credits like
Yeah,
1970.
and they were saying that
Mhm.
the cinematographer Agio Blurred, he made sure that it looks like a movie
Oh, from the 70s.
that you made in the 70s.
Oh,
Yeah.
And
interesting.
he did modern technology.
What was his name again?
His name was
Sound like
Agio
He has,
Blurred?
he has a very odd name.
Agio Blurred.
EIGIL. Okay.
Look it up.
Wait, no, he's got it written
And
down over here.
it might
So-
be even like Brill.
Oh, who knows why,
BRYLD.
Oh.
Yeah.
But this guy made sure that this movie looked like it was like I'm watching a movie that was filmed in the 70s.
Yeah, he's a
where's
Danish
his name written down over
cinematographer.
Anyway. But yeah, no, the whole relationship with the characters. I just love the movie. So, yeah. Boom.
I loved it, and the Dominic Sessa, I forget where I saw this. It's some interview was talking about how they had gone to the school to get somebody. They couldn't find anybody, and he'd only acted in some school plays up to that point. And he came in like weeks after they thought, well, we're gonna have to go someplace else to find it, and just knocked him off. And that kid was incredible.
He was.
What a performance that
Very
was!
much
All
so.
three of the leads in that are wonderful.
Mhm.
You should tell
And-
me, George. I could.
I thought he was, if I would say, he's a future Tom Hanks. He kind of had that look to me.
That's a
it
good one.
does.
That's
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, but although he's a little more upper class than everyman. That Tom Hanks in his early career was an everyman,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and now he's in every movie. But yeah, no, I thought. Well, I'll wait and make one comment after we're not taping because I want to give something away. But I thought all three of them, I knew I was going to like the movie. I like Alexander Payne's movie. Oddly enough, the only Alexander Payne movie I've never really liked was Election. And
Oh,
that was
really?
like the
I
thing to
love
put him
that
on the
movie.
I still like
what
that
put him on
one.
the map. And I said,
What other movie did he do?
Well, The Descendants, About Schmidt, Nebraska,
I like those.
Downsizing.
Downside. That's right.
Yeah.
He did Downsizing,
Yeah.
one of my
I
favorite
love
movies
Downsizing.
ever. I love that.
I
I've seen
watched
that
it because
movie,
Bob told me to watch it, and he was right. I thought it was very good.
I've seen
I-
it
and I
4 or
didn't want
5
to
see
times.
it.
That movie.
Yeah.
I
I
love
love
that
that
movie.
movie.
But this one, it's not just me. This movie was just gave me everything I wanted, and I
Yeah.
mean everything I wanted. It was the acting was wonderful. The writing was sensational.
Yes.
The direction was like it didn't feel like you were watching a movie. It felt like you were watching these people.
Absolutely.
And yeah, usually with Da'Vine Randolph, that's a performance I would go like, yeah, that's going to win an Oscar because of Woke.
Right.
That should win an Oscar because she was great.
I think, fortunately for her character, one of the best writing jobs, one of the best acting jobs.
Yeah.
So good for the director. Everything about her performance.
It was a
is
great
just
role, and
amazing.
she carried
It was
it
a
off
great,
well.
and
Yeah.
it's
Really
the same
pulls it
thing
off,
is true
yeah.
of all three of the major characters. They're great roles,
Mhm.
beautifully cast, beautifully directed, beautifully written. So
There was also that one guy, Naheem Garcia. He played Danny.
is he related to the cinematographer? By any chance?
He was the guy that liked her, and he was always nice to her. Though.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
He was
He
great too,
was
actually.
like the janitor.
He's janitor.
Yeah.
He's a janitor. Yes, he was
Yeah,
great too.
he was really
Just
good too.
solid characters.
Yeah,
So
he was the other character that was
Yeah.
kind of
Well,
always.
I don't think anything else I can say is just repeating what everybody else has said. It's a wonderful movie. Go see it.
Yeah, it was. Okay,
Okay.
so Patty.
8.
I give this a 7.
Oh, this is a 10. This is like a 10 movie for me.
Yeah.
Oh, right, you don't. I give it a 10 too.
Yeah.
Okay, so that ends our 68th episode. And so remember to like, share,
And subscribe.
buy us coffee, or what's the other one?
Patreon. I don't know what they
Oh,
do.
yeah.
Oh,
though.
Patreon. Yes.
Well, what do they do?
They
I
patronize
don't know
us.
yet because they haven't done it.
They patronize.
I have no
Oh, they
idea what they
patronize
do.
us.
They patronize
Yeah,
us.
they
They
patronize us.
They support us in our endeavors.
And we're looking forward to the Equalizer versus Predator.
That would be
Okay,
a great
so
movie.
we'll see you next time. Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.